back to tea and tarot. Ooh, this tea is really hot. It's your Sess Moon Magic, and this is our time to vibe, check in, and vibe with tarot, vibe with our intuition, vibe with the collective, vibe with one another, and just tap in a bit. I hope everyone has had a good week so far. Happy Tuesday. Little updates for me. Let's see. This last week, to be very, very honest, was a pretty difficult week for me. Very emotional week, emotionally draining week. I'm not the type of person who believes just because you do tarot or you pray or you believe in spirit or any of those kind of spiritual things that you're immune from having difficult things and difficult circumstances in your life or struggling or having hard times. I think anybody who pretends and acts as just because they pull tarot or because they are quote unquote spiritual, that they don't go through anything difficult, is either someone else putting them on a pedestal or they themselves acting in a certain way to be perceived as higher than others, which I don't believe in. I think we all go through things, good, bad, otherwise, no matter how spiritually studied you are, or how much you meditate, or how much you pray. Of course, those things can help you to navigate it. It can help you to emotionally regulate, or for it to, to come back quicker, so to speak. But it doesn't absolve you from having human feelings and human experiences, which is what all those emotions are. So I'm the first one to tell on myself when I'm not doing too well or have had a hard week, or just in general, because I think it's super important, especially for people who pull tarot or claim any kind of spiritual practice, to be that honest and transparent, because I think there's a lot of spiritual hierarchy in these communities that disconnects people from their own selves because they feel that they are not worthy, because they see these other people and they're like, wow, they never go through anything, something must be wrong with me, when it's like 9 times out of 10 those people are just playing you. They definitely are going through shit. They're just not being honest or being real with themselves or with you. So this week this week was a wild week for your girl over here. Definitely a lot of breakdowns. I know there's a breakthrough coming somewhere, but life is a beautiful, chaotic mess, y'all. So, just a lot of grief, and a lot of look at that, the tower popped up. A lot of tower moments for your girl over here, and foundations that need reevaluation, need relooking at, and need strengthening. So, it's all part of life. It's the ups and downs and everything in between. But that's how my week was. So, I'm trying to think if I did anything this weekend. I did go out and go dancing, y'all. I haven't been dancing in so long, and I think with how I was feeling, I felt like I really needed to get out and go dancing. So I did go dancing. I got to go to the press club. That was real fun here in Sacramento. I also went to Pep Love was performing, and so was Copyright from Ohio. Shout out to them over in the Bay Area for Math Day. Rest in peace to Math. And that was a really, really incredible event, and got to connect with some really dope people and just had some really great conversations. And there was some really dope art there. So that was also something I did this weekend to kind of help me get out of my own little vibe that I was feeling. Art, music, events, dancing, hanging out with friends, all those things really helped me to get back on it. And tarot, obviously. I use tarot a lot for the different things I'm navigating through. But yeah, that's my updates, How are you all doing here in this space? How was your week? How was your weekend? What's the vibes been? What's the energy been for you? Mars is officially out of retrograde and in Cancer. I believe it's still in Cancer. Have y'all been feeling that at all? I would love to hear what y'all's experience has been this past week since we last spoke. I did get my wisdom teeth removed. I remember talking about that and being super scared about it, y'all. Which maybe that's part of like the whole energy, was that it was, like there's only so much I could do when I was also getting my wisdom teeth removed. But my teeth are almost completely healed up. I'm really surprised at how fast, like I didn't really have any swelling. The bleeding was pretty minimal. It was only for like 1 day. And I still can't fully eat. That's the only thing. Like I have to be careful still of what I eat. But I don't have to take the pain medication anymore. It hasn't even been a week. It'll be a week tomorrow. And yeah, I stopped taking the pain meds on Sunday. That was my last day. So thank you to everybody who was, you know, sending prayers and love and encouragement. I think I was more afraid of the idea of getting my wisdom teeth removed because, you know, I think it's one of those things that people have very different experiences depending on how your teeth are coming out, whether it's under the gums, whether they're straight out, how impacted they are and stuff like that. So luckily for me, like it was like, and that was it. And then, you know, it was only really like a lot of pain for maybe 5 days. And even then I was on pain medication most of the time. And I had bread for the first time today since the surgery, which made me happy. But yeah, I see Tones Certain says, tell me about pieces. Tell me more. What does that mean? Pieces. Like being in pieces, pieces of the universe, pieces of your heart. Shout out to our Ralph Lauer Studios up in the building. Shout out to DJ Narts in the building. Yeah. But yeah, I just want to take some time to check in. I always feel like it's important when doing these Tea and Tarot lives to check in with y'all, see how everyone's doing. If you ever got your wisdom teeth pulled, let me know. I'm not a big fan of the dentist, but you know, it's really wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Big Kahuna says, didn't have much pain, just soreness and bleeding. Had soup for 3 days. Yeah, it wasn't that bad actually. Same here. Soup for 3 days. I feel that I've had so much soup these last couple of days. I am done with soup for the rest of the freaking year. I still have like 5 cans of soup and I'm like, why did I buy so much soup? But it was good for when I needed it. But I'm so over it. Tone Certain says Pisces. Oh yeah, we in the are we in Pisces season now? February. Yeah, we're in Pisces season now. One of my favorite seasons, because your girl over here is a Pisces Aries cusp. So I was born on the night of the last day of Pisces. So I'm a 0 degrees Aries, or a Pisces Aries cusp technically, because it's 0 degrees, which what does that mean? What do you want me to tell you about Pisces? I love Pisces energy. I clearly am a big fan of Erykah Badu. And I love the imaginative energy of Pisces, the intuitive energy of Pisces. It's a very magical, mystical energy. People who are born under Pisces tend to be very mysterious or magical type of vibes, or dreamy, or, you know, artsy fartsy, so to speak. It's also sometimes an energy that can be hard to ground those ideas in reality, though. It's an energy that can be difficult to bring yourself from up here to down here in reality. You feel me? And it also can be an energy that has a difficulty handling conflicts, or handling like when people are mean or standing up for themselves. Pisces tend to be one of the most sensitive in the zodiac, so you know they have a hard time speaking up for themselves at times, or not letting others walk over them, which is why I'm so grateful to be a cusp sign, because then my Aries side comes out and is like Big Kahuna says, funny, Taurus is the perfect match. Another Taurus, I think, is the only sign like that. Yeah, you know what's funny is all of my long-term relationships, all of them have been with Taurus men specifically. And I think it's because Tauruses just feel very grounded to me, as someone who's a very dominant Pisces energy. And it also helps me to bring out that Aries energy within me and feel more confident in that Aries energy, because that Earth energy is very strong and grounding for me, so I can lean more into that Aries energy. So yeah, it's funny you brought up Tauruses, because I definitely experienced that. Even my manager, she has a Taurus moon, and I feel like that's something that we really connect on, because emotionally she's just such a great person in my life. But yes, Raw Flower Studio says Aries gang. Yes, I was a heck of Pisces when I was younger, and I have gotten more of an Aries as I've grown. But really what it is I think I'm just like an emotional little spitfire ball, you know? Like, I have a heck of emotions, but I also will bleh, if I need to. It doesn't always come out the best, you know? But I've been learning as I've getting older how to better express myself when I'm feeling super emotional, because that Aries side can take over and it can not come out correct, because Aries are known for being, you know, putting their foot in their mouth, so to speak, and being very headstrong, being stubborn. You know, they're the warrior. They're just going to charge head first and not really think about it first. So that doesn't always mesh well with the Pisces in me. But I think my Aries side definitely protects my Pisces side, who can be really sensitive and allow people to you know, be vulnerable and believe in the benefit of a doubt. And then my Aries side will eventually kick in and be like, nah, fuck this shit, fuck this person. We're about to go on full on warrior mode and just give them hell. Don't put baby in a corner. That's the type of energy of a Pisces Aries cusp. Big Kahuna says, what's your Chinese zodiac and does it match your monthly zodiac? My Chinese zodiac is a dog, which I feel like very much matches my energy. I love dogs. They're like one of my favorite animals. Dogs or wolves. You know, they're loyal, but also can be independent, friendly, all that kind of good stuff. And just want to be loved, very loyal and dedicated, and just like dogs, like they have their people, their persons, their tribe, their community, and you know they pretty much are happy with that, you know. So I would say it matches my personality. I feel like it kind of matches my regular zodiac, Pisces energy, Aries energy. Shout out to Sky Eyes Music up in the building. Good to see you here. I see Tone says, I was born on the 4th of March. I know so many Pisces that were born on the 4th of March. Like, that is wild. Such a powerful day. Because several people I know who are extremely, extremely powerful are born on that day. Including, I believe, Al, who just passed here in the Sacramento community, the poet community, which rest in peace to Al, and shout out to him and his family and his spirit that's traveling right now. And may get the rest that it needs, and all those who are affected by that. Sending big prayers to the community. But yeah, March 4th, that's a powerful, powerful day. I feel like a lot of people I know who are just really creative and fun Pisces to be around for sure is that March 4th. It says, interesting, dogs hate me, but I love cats. Really? That is interesting. I have grown to love cats. I didn't used to like cats, and when I was younger, I used to be annoyed by cats because cats never let you pet them. And I'm like, man, I just want to give you love. I'm such a lover girl. I just want to give them love. You know, I just want to like pet the cat, you know what I mean? And hold it, and the cats would run from me. Which, I mean, I understand. I was a child with a lot of energy and a lot of love to give. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of grown to respect cats and see my cat side come out too. You know, they respect their space, they respect boundaries, they respect their own boundaries. They're not afraid to let you know when you've crossed their boundaries. They're not afraid to be in their power, and they don't really need you to take care of them or you to love up on them. They're very good at being able to take care of themselves and be in solitude, and there's a divinity, mysticism about them, you know? So I definitely love cats now more as an adult. You said you sent me a DM a while back. Really? I wonder, I must have not gotten it because I do not remember seeing it. Although, that's one thing about Instagram I love, but you know, with social media in general, there's so many messages that go missed sometimes. So if I missed your message, feel free to send it again, and I'll keep an eye out for it. You said, I saw your performance at Cafe Colonial and loved it. Thank you for coming out. Was that the one in January with the Celestial Eclipse one, with the gang, with Amber and 916 Collaborations and Solely Bowl, and Luna was hosting? That was a really, really good night. We just finalized, almost finalized the lineup. I think I mentioned this last IG Live that we are going to have a anniversary show for that show called Celestial Eclipse Returns. So it's an anniversary show to celebrate all that beautiful energy from last year in January at Cafe Colonial, and celebrating the collective, our team, 916 Collaborations, myself, Amber, Solibol, Luna, and all the artists who rock with us. So we're going to be coming back on March 29th at Streets. Celestial Eclipse will return. So you will be seeing a flyer for that real soon. We're just finalizing some of the last minute details, but we have a fire lineup, y'all. I can't wait to announce who's on the lineup because it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, I'm real excited about that. I hope to see you come out to that one too. Yeah, I was trying to see if there was something else that I was gonna say, but then it left my brain. Must not be anything that important, or I'll come back again. So it's good morning, Rade, Divi, Hari Bo, Hari Ombo. I don't know what that means, but peace, welcome. Thank you for being here. Hopefully I said that correctly. Tom Certain says, thank you for giving me a shout out on my birthday soon. Yeah, happy early birthday. I can't wait till March comes. My birthday's on the 20th. So I'm real excited March is always like, to me, because my birthday's in March, it feels, and because it's spring and a lot of indigenous cultures celebrate it as the new year. Like for me, it's always felt like a new year more than January because of springtime and my birthday and all those things. So March is always just like a really powerful month for your girl over here. So hope you get those powerful feelings during your birthday month too, and welcoming all of that in for you and ushering all that in for you. Big Kahuna says, could be under hidden messages. Won't let me send another DM. Oh, that's right. You have to accept it first. Okay, I'm going to go into my messages and see if I can find it, okay? If not, let me see if I can screenshot this. Hold up. I will screenshot this and remember to go back and send you a message so it'll unblock it. All right, y'all. So I hope everyone has their tea. I got the honey lavender yogi tea today. It says unity is the way of grace and harmony, with a little bit of honey in here. Got my tarot decks and oracle decks on deck, and we about to get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my sound bowl. Oh, don't fall. And if you want to join me in grounding in, you can close your eyes if you're comfortable. If you're not driving, please don't close your eyes if you're driving. You can put one hand over your heart and one hand over your gut area, or you can just sit, stand, do whatever makes you feel comfortable, really. This is just an opportunity for us to ground into this energy, ground into this reading, and let go of any kind of external distractions from this moment so that we can get the best messages in this space for our highest good. So if you want to join me, take a deep breath in through your nose, thanking your guides, my guides, and the divine for this space. Out through the mouth. Another deep breath in through the nose. Just creating this sacred container for these messages to come through and protecting us from outside distractions. Deep breath out. Last deep breath in. Just really grounding into this reading, into this energy, checking in with ourselves, speaking gratitude to ourselves in this space for having this time for ourselves today, and asking for these messages to come in with clarity that make perfect sense to us and where we are in our journey today. Deep breath out. Yeah, you can open your eyes. Yeah, I was trying not to bang this too loud because I realized the last couple times it was super loud, and I'm not trying to hurt anyone's ears if you're watching this on the playback or just in general. And Big Kahuna says, yeah, I was trying to get you on my homies podcast, Hip Hop Radar. I will definitely connect with you after this live. And dandelion root tea is low-key delicious and has lots of healing properties. I don't think I've tried that kind of tea. But definitely, yeah, I'm going to have to check it out. So delicious. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive into our reading today. So as always, as I mentioned in most of the videos, try to do this disclaimer before the videos. Tarot for me is simply a reflective tool, some things that is used kind of as a self-therapeutic tool. Ready to connect deeper to ourselves, to spirit, whatever you believe that to be, God, creator, the divine, your higher power, just this infinite source and energy between us, love, etc., and so on. Whatever it is, whatever you want to label it, it's our way to connect deeper to ourselves and to one another and into the allness that is. I do not believe that tarot is the end-all be-all. I do not believe it's going to tell you something that you don't already know. I don't believe that tarot is going to tell you specific details in your life down to the very moment you're going to get married or anything like that. And I personally believe that if anyone's doing that, that it's spiritual scamming and something that I would be a little bit more wary of. And to, you know, be mindful and use your discernment. And if a message doesn't feel right for you, don't try to make it fit for you. Most of the time when I pull tarot, I speak in analogies and metaphors, not in specifics, but they're very exact in terms of the energy and how that may manifest in your life. Everything is energetic and it can manifest in many different ways. So try to apply it as you see fit and using your own discernment. And let's go ahead and hop into this. All right. Also, something a little bit different about my tarot sessions, especially here on the Tea and Tarot Live, is I try to make it an interactive experience between us, because I feel that tarot is not just me, the tarot reader, who has all this power and knowledge, which I do not believe that that's what tarot reading is about. I believe that it's a reciprocal practice and a channel and a partnership that we're connecting into together. So I like to create that space here live, and so I'm going to pull a card. We're going to take some time to tap into our intuition and see what comes through, and tap into this energy, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with what is the overall energy? Well, that came out real hot. All right, so this is the overall energy right now. 2 of Swords. So if you have a journal, grab your journal. If you want to just grab another device you could write on, or just think about it in your mind, or write it down below. What do you see when you see this 2 of Swords? Maybe it's the colors you notice. Maybe it's the symbols like the moon, the crescent moon. Maybe it's waxing or waning. Maybe the swords or the blindfold. What are some things that stick out to you when you see the 2 of Swords? The goal here is to not rely just on the descriptions of the tarot, but to really give ourselves the opportunity to connect to the energy and the images here subconsciously in the tarot, because 70%, is it 70%? Yeah, 70% of what we do is subconscious, meaning that we don't actually have full awareness of what's happening in our mind at all times. And tarot gives us an opportunity to kind of glimpse into that energy and understand it better when we tap into our intuition. So this is really an opportunity for us all to tap into our intuition and kind of let go of logical thinking or the traditional descriptions of the tarot, and just think about what comes to your mind when you see this card. You can share down below here in the live, or if you're watching this on the playback, please share down below in the comments. I love seeing what people intuitively pull from the tarot, and I feel like it adds so much to our collective reading here. So let me know. I'm going to give you some time to think about it. You can quietly reflect at your house right now or wherever you're watching this from, or like I said, you can share down below. What is coming up for you when you see this 2 of Swords? Don't think about it too much in terms of whether you're right or wrong. Whatever comes up to you first, just write it down, share down below, write it in a journal, think about it, and run with it. For example, if seeing this card makes you think of, maybe makes you think of your parent and how they seem to always be blocked when you try to talk to them. Maybe they're not very open when you try to communicate with them. Maybe you're thinking of the conversation you had with them whatever the situation is that you think about when you see this card, if it's a specific person, a specific place, or just the symbolism that it's bringing out in you, go ahead and run with that. Write it down as much as you can. I'm going to give you all like 1 more minute while I drink some tea. And the goal here again is to write as much as we can. This is an exercise I do almost every morning. It's one of my routines that I do where I pull a card and just try to free write for as long as I can about whatever comes to my mind when I see the card. All right, I'm going to give you guys a couple more seconds. I'm going to sip this tea. All right, let's go ahead and hop into the comments. I'm going to see what you all said. The acid flashback says justice. Interesting. I wonder what gave you the justice vibes from this. Maybe it's the, like, there being 2 swords, kind of like 2 scales. I'm curious what made you think of justice. But I love that, justice. Okay, Big Kahuna says maybe a confident defense mechanism as she has a blindfold and is not too worried. Yeah, she doesn't really, even though she's blindfolded, you're right. She doesn't really, she seems like she's chilling. Okay, I like that. Tone Thurston says, wow, that's intelligent. You know, we all spreading our intelligence in here. You are intelligent. Trust in your own intelligence for sure. Alrighty, when I see this card, the first thing I think about is feeling some sort of block in general. The swords are known in the tarot for being very mental, for being very much about communication. So this could be specific, like there is a specific person maybe in your life that you've been having a lot of communication blocks with, maybe a friend or a lover or a parent, as I use that example of a parent who's very closed off. And every time you try to talk to them, it just seems like you hit the same wall, or the communication just isn't flowing very freely. It is a very heavily mental card, so this also could be your mental space in general. Maybe your mental space feels blocked in some sort of way, like you're stuck on a certain thought and you're not able to get to the other side of it. Or just in general, you know, I'm drawn to like how it's like an X, like do not enter, you cannot go this way, not going to happen. It's also a card that gives the feeling of just in general having a struggle with decision making, and with your emotional state when it comes to decision making. And I say that because I'm paying attention to the waves crashing in the background, which water and waves typically represent our intuition, our emotional body, and the moon as well is connected to our intuition and emotional body. So this card I also sense on an intuitive level can speak to sometimes how our emotions can conflict with our logic and our ability to make decisions, which is very Pisces. Because like I said, Pisces can be have a difficulty kind of bringing it down. They're known for having a difficulty for making decisions at times, or you know, being so dreamy that it's hard for them to, you know, move forward and so to speak. So all those things could be reign very true here. But like I said, if I was just doing a regular reading for a client right now, I would say that this has to do with a specific person or a specific situation in your life where you feel really blocked. Like you keep trying to work on it, or keep trying to talk to this person, or keep trying to move things forward, and it's just not moving forward. And the situation overall has you feeling indecisive and unsure of how to move forward or what to do and how to manage it. I'm reading some of these comments down below. Acid Flashback says, it gives a feeling of maybe an injustice in seeing her arms are buckling under the weight of fighting. I love that. Yeah, maybe the conversation or the reason why the situation isn't moving forward with this person, situation, place, thing, relationship, friend, etc. is because at the root of it, there's some sort of injustice, some sort of imbalance, some sort of maybe someone trying to get away with something, or some sort of karma at play, because justice often deals with karma and an imbalance, right? And how that can be weighing down on the relationship, the friendship, this situation in general, your mind, yourself. Eli's in the building. What up, Grody Omega? Good to see you. He said, what up, Moon? I delivered Uber Eats to Brute earlier. Funny coincidence. Yes, I know. I was doing some music practice. I'd be practicing my skills and on the piano typically around that time. But yeah, I saw you walking away out of the distance. I was like, who's out there? He was like, oh, Eli. And I was like, oh shoot, tell him I said hi. It was good to see you from afar. I hope you're doing well. Tone Searchin says, absolute facts. Karma is a bitch. Yes, it is. Let me tell you. A beautiful one. No, it's like, all right, so then, as I mentioned, this probably before to you all on the last live, we're going to look now at the official descriptions. And I like to just use the internet because I feel like the AI overview is typically a good description. And one of the reasons why I say don't rely just on the descriptions of the tarot is because, sorry, I'm getting hecka hot, is because, excuse me, is because a lot of times the descriptions themselves were written by humans, right? So similarly to any kind of text written in time, humans themselves put their own biases and their own interpretation on things. And that's why it can be kind of limiting, because the images themselves are meant to tap into your subconscious. The images themselves are meant to provoke the symbolism from your own consciousness and subconscious, your own spirit, right? And these are just people's interpretations of this image, right? So when you rely just on the description, you're really limiting your ability to just allow the energy of what wants to come out for you to come out. But the AI overview is pretty cool because you get to see a lot of different descriptions kind of summarized at the top of the Google search a lot of times. And it's more for me to check with my intuition and see how spot on it is to the descriptions, and if there's anything else there on the description that I can pull from that can help me to better understand the reading that I'm picking up on, the energy I'm picking up on. So I just put Two of Swords at the top, see what comes up. And it says, a little AI overview says, Two of Swords card can represent indecision, difficult decisions, and being at a crossroads. Now, see, I didn't bring up crossroads, but I definitely feel like that energy is definitely potent in here, especially if we're talking about a specific person or situation where you feel like there is a block. It can also mean mental balance, harmony, or being in a deadlock. The blindfold is a conscious choice to block out distractions and to focus on your internal guidance. The crossed swords is tension and opposition between two equally compelling options. The seated position is a sense of balance and introspection, which I feel like this taps into what you were saying about the injustice and being calm through it, but the weight of it. Interpretations, looking for a logical compromise over dispute, argument, or decision, are being stuck between two things that feel equally difficult. Trusting yourself when your intuition feels like it's offline, blocked emotions, or avoidance. Yeah, so connecting to the message I was saying earlier, if this is a specific person, situation, or thing that you feel that you are at some sort of block or some sort of conflict with, or some sort of, it's just not moving forward, I feel like it is this sense of kind of battling between, well, it could go this way or it could go this way. I could do this or I could do that. And I'm not sure which to do right now. That's the energy overall that's coming through right now. So think about how that may apply to your relationship. Think about how that may apply to maybe the world at large. Think about how that may apply to your career or your job, or maybe your finances, or anything else that you're working on at this moment. See some of this. Big Kahuna says, also gives a sense of a final stance, and whatever happens, as if she's blindfolded, she don't give a F. Yeah, maybe it's also a sense of like, whatever way I go, you know what I mean? The decision is what the decision is. I feel that. And Tone Searchin says, are your earrings not heavy on your mind? Actually, they're not that heavy. They're like a very thin wood almost, look. I have heavier ones. These ones, let me show you. These ones are so heavy that I hardly wear them. They're so beautiful. I got them at the Indigenous Native American Festival when I first moved here to Sacramento. And they were made by hand. And these ones are my heaviest earrings, which is why I barely wear them, because they be pulling so hard on my ears. But the beading is super beautiful on them. Anyways, okay, let's get to the advice card. So with this energy, knowing that we're at a crossroads, so to speak, or there's some sort of situation where something's at a standstill or at a crossroads, or we're just not really exactly sure where it's going or how to approach it, or whether to do this option or that option, and overall just feeling seated in this energy, reflecting, being more introspective, taking our time to tap more into our intuition, being blindfolded so maybe we can focus a little bit more on how we're feeling versus what we're just thinking. Because sometimes I get that energy with the Two of Swords where it's a card of like not just relying on your logic, you know, but yeah, really relying on what you're feeling inside. All right, so let's go ahead and pull for advice. I see Ashe Simone in the house. What's good, girl? It's good to see you here. It's been a minute. Shout out to the angel waves. All right. What advice do you have, Spirit, when it comes to handling this energy? Sorry. I'm not trying to laugh, but I'm like, I think it's funny when the advice, it's not funny, but the advice card, I'm just going to put this up here. We're going to see what Spirit's trying to say with this, but this is the advice, 5 of Cups, like the Lover's card on the back, 5 of Cups. So let me know what you see, what you think about when you see the 5 of Cups, what you picking up on this. And keep in mind, this is the advice of how to handle this Two of Swords. Let me know down below. What do you see when you see this card? What is the thoughts, emotions, energy that you're picking up on? The colors, the symbolism. Let me know down in the chat below. Write it down in a journal. Or you can let me know on the playback in a comment down below. What do you see? What do you think about when you see this card? For me, when I immediately see this card, I think first about how the person looks like they're crying. And they look very sad or depressed or just not happy. They're also looking at these cups that are spilt over and not looking at the cups that are full behind them. And so when I see this as advice, right, because keep in mind that this is an advice card. So how could this energy of being sad, crying, or looking at the spilt milk, so to speak, how can that be an advice from Spirit when it comes to the energy of the Two of Swords? Well, if the Two of Swords is talking about us not looking at things from a logical perspective and being more introspective and trying to tap into how we feel, I feel like the 5 of Cups here would be telling us to really lean into what is aching in your heart right now, which I know that can sound like, how is that advice? But to me, when I see this, I think of it like whatever is coming out needs to come out. You need to cry it out. You don't want to repress your emotions is what I would feel like the advice is saying from this. Like if something hurts, if something has spilt, if something has been ruined, so to speak, you shouldn't just be focusing on the 2 cups right here that are great in your life. Spirit wants you to focus on the 3 cups that are spilt because there's something there that you need to see. There's something there that needs to be felt. There's something there that needs to come out. Whether that's a greater understanding of the situation, whether that's just having a good old cry, you know what I mean? So you can get it up and out of you and we're not repressing how we feel. There's this feeling with this card and the advice coming through to really, really feel your emotions. Very Piscean of this energy right now. To really feel your emotions, to allow yourself to grieve over it, to allow yourself to cry over it, to allow yourself to be emotional about it, and allow yourself to really dive deep into what has been spilled, what has been broken, what is not working here, and in a way that acknowledges it, which is, it seems kind of contrary to what we're typically told, to just focus on what is working, but there's an energy here of it needing your attention at this moment. That's how I would see it as an advice card personally. Allowing yourself time to sit in quiet contemplation, cry it out, feel it out, all the feels. I don't know if y'all have seen the meme that's like, it was like a child and the child's in front of its food and it just starts crying like, ah! And then it stops crying like nothing happened and then just goes back to eating its food. And it was like every Pisces everywhere. Very Pisces energy, like just bawl your eyes out and then get back to business. Ball your eyes out. Allow yourself to feel the energy. Allow whatever needs to come out to come out. And there's something really healing, actually, like lethargic. Is that the word? Lethargic to this feeling. A lethargic to allowing yourself to get up and cry and allow yourself to get that out. That's what's coming up for me when I see this card. I'm also noticing to the sunset or the sunrise in the background. Like there is something on the horizon. This is not the end all be all, you know? Sometimes we just gotta let ourselves sit down for a moment, have ourselves a good cry, drink some hot tea, journal it out, purge. There's a lot of purging emotions that I feel like with this card here, and allowing space for whatever's on the horizon to come in, something new to come in. Feels like a very healing card too with this energy. But this card also, as an advice card, is usually a message also about remembering that there are these two cups here, you know, at the end of the day. Like, yes, we're paying attention to the cups that have fallen. We're grieving them. You know, we're having a memorial for them, so to speak. The, that which is no longer, you know, full of life. And, you know, the cup that we want now is now spilt all over the floor. But we also have these two cups, and this message also would be a reminder to cherish those two cups and to not forget about those two cups, and to also remember the blessings of the cups that you have in life, so to speak. So whether that be, you know, maybe right now there's one area of your life that is the Three of Cups that is not working out at all. Maybe there's multiple areas of your life that feel like these three cups right here. Right? But then it's like maybe, but in the background, maybe you have a beautiful community of friends, or a job that you really love, or a job that pays really well, or, you know, a roof over your head and some really awesome roommates that support you, or great parents, or just the fact that your parents are alive and you know you can call on them. Whatever those things are, that are your Two of Cups, you know, here, that are those blessings in your life. I feel like there's a message here about allowing yourself to grieve the cups that have fallen, to grieve, allow yourself to cry and purge the emotions, and allow yourself to bear witness. It's really important when, I feel like when grieving, this is a very big energy of grief, and it's something I already have personally felt myself, but there is something powerful about grieving and bearing witness to our own grief. I feel like grief is something that demands our witness. It demands our attention. It demands us to bear witness to it. We can't just stuff our feelings down and say, oh, I'm not sad about this, let me move on. I mean, we can, but I feel like a lot of times grief asks us to bear witness to it. It asks us to bear witness by crying or purging whatever those emotions are out and witnessing how we feel, and that's the way that we honor the grief, if that makes sense. But in that same time, I feel like those Two of Cups are there. So who are those people or those situations or places that are those Two of Cups for you? Maybe it's your art. Maybe it's spending time in nature. Maybe it's a friend you know that you can rely on. Maybe it's a community. Maybe it's your daily practices that you get joy from. Maybe, like I said, it's a job. Whatever those things are, speaking gratitude and life into them and leaning on them in this time could also be a message from this card. I'm going to go ahead and see what's happening in our chat here. Tone Certain says, fly, how they come out. I see nature. Big Kahuna says, seems like he's sad and figuring stuff out. Maybe what could have been missed or a missed opportunity. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe the advice is to double check or to pay attention to what maybe was missed here. The Acid Flashback says, it seems like to me like two options. One path is stuck behind and vice surrounded by earth, but there's a quiet corner of freedom that's still a potential path. Yeah, and I think that also, that idea of like there's two options here also really aligns with the Two of Swords and there being two options, right? Like we can, you know, spend all of our time here, or we can enjoy our time here, or maybe a little bit of both. Maybe both things are true. Yeah. So let me know what comes through for you. Definitely take what resonates and leave the rest. And this kind of reading is actually something I would personally pull another card for, just in terms of a support card. So I am going to do that and see what comes out. Yeah. Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, when I see this card right here, Eight of Pentacles, this is a card all about focusing on what is working, focusing on our craft, focusing on our skill, focusing on what it is that we can control, focusing on what it is that we're building, focusing on the things that make us happy. So when we're sitting here in this energy and emotion, this gives me an energy of like, whatever the situation is that has you feeling indecisive or unsure or having to choose between two options or just feeling like the weight of the world's on your shoulders, allowing yourself to feel those emotions, to cry, to purge, to let it out, but then channel it into something that feels good for you, feels productive for you, feels like it's working towards something that you are working towards. So again, this could be like an artistic project if you are channeling those emotions into your art. So maybe you are feeling really sad and you're crying, or you're just having this purge of emotions, and then you grab some paint and you just throw the paint all over the canvas. And that's a way that I could see this support card here, supporting that energy, advising you to, allow yourself to just take those emotions and channel it into something like art. Or maybe it's, you're feeling those emotions, you're allowing yourself to feel those emotions, and you're using it to dedicate your time more to your job, because you love your job and you get this satisfaction from your job. And so you're like, man, I know how difficult this time period has been for me right now, so I'm gonna choose to stay a couple hours late at work and work on this project that I've been working on at work, not because I'm avoiding my feelings, but because it actually makes me feel good to give to my job and to give to this work that I'm doing. Because I don't want to just be at home sulking in this energy. When I've cried it out, I know that I feel not so good about it, but I also know that I want to do something with that energy. So this could also be like that, staying a little bit later at work, wherever you work at, and being able to spend some time on that. Or maybe you are good with your hands and you're using that emotion, that energy to build something, crafts or mechanic, or maybe you are a computer type of software person. Maybe you're building a website. Whatever it is that you feel passionate about, it's this energy of channeling that energy into something that is building, that is wielding, so to speak, of a bigger thing. So it's like hobbies, interests, jobs, skills, can be a very healthy way to be able to channel energy, especially if you are feeling depressed or been sad for a really long time, where it's like, I'm not just like, oh, I cried it out and I feel better, but like I've been crying every single day for 2 weeks and it's not getting better, and I'm just sitting here crying in my room. This would be an energy to take all of that and like put it into this project, so to speak, a passion project, finding a passion project. So maybe you're building a garden outside and getting some wood to build the boxes for the plants, or maybe you're deciding to renovate a corner of your house by hand, or maybe it's learning how to cook, right? Something that your heart can get behind, that helps you to channel that sadness and that energy into something that is life-giving back to you, pours back into you, and works in building a skill or a craft or some sort of something that you're really passionate about. There's a lot of energy around that here. So whatever it is, really, your hobby could be hiking, it could be jogging, it could be stretching, it could be, hanging out outside with the plants, going to pet stores and hanging out with puppies. Y'all ever done puppy yoga? I've never done puppy yoga. I've always wanted to do puppy yoga, but I feel like if I do puppy yoga, I'm just going to sit on my mat and play with the puppies the whole time. I'm not going to be doing any type of yoga. I will just be sitting there with a puppy in my lap and sniffing its yummy puppy breath. I don't know what it is about puppy breath, but I think it's the best smell in the world. That's what I would do the whole session. There would be no stretching happening. Maybe it's getting together with some friends, finding some online Facebook groups, some meetups to ride bikes together, or go skateboarding, or do photography, whatever it is that you are passionate about and you love. This is part of that supporting energy with the Five of Cups is advising you, you know, yes, cry about it, feel your feelings, do not repress your emotions, but at a certain point, know the line between repressing your emotions and just sulking in an energy for so long that's not healthy for you. That you know you're just sitting there beating yourself up or re-saying the same thing over and over again and just, oh my gosh, this happened and this person doesn't care, this person treated me wrong, or I don't know what to do about this situation, and over and over and over again, right? It's like, instead of sitting there and doing that, because now we're not repressing your emotion, you're not allowing your emotions to get out. Now you're just replaying the past on repeat in a way that is actually mentally detrimental to you. So if that is happening, I feel like this card is supporting that advice, saying, hey, get out of the house, or get into your hobby, get into your interest in the house, because this person is inside, whatever it is, and pour your energy into that. And it can really help that energy and that emotion and you move through and navigate during this time. Check out some of these comments down here. Joey Baldwin says, hello, Miss Moon Magic. Hey, Joey. Good to see you in the building. Tone Sardin says, Hunchback of Notre Dame. It does give Hunchback of Notre Dame vibes for sure. Acid Flashback says, it feels like engaging the red logic and green heart. I love that, right? I also see red as passion. So like engaging your heart with your passion projects that tap into your heart, your feelings, how you're feeling, your heart space that may be heavy, but then your passion that's fiery, and using this to motivate the other and vice versa. I love that you picked up on the colors here, though. I didn't even think about that. Big Kahuna says, looks like she's struggling to achieve a certain goal, but not quitting and trying to perfect her craft. Yeah, I feel that too. I love that. Tony Surson says, cooking something special, always. Underground Promoters in the building. What's good? It's good to see you here. He said, I love that because recently my drive to get back into surfing and building surfboards has been calling to me. Yeah, this is definitely that energy there, especially if the rest of the world or a specific situation in your life has been really bringing you down emotionally, and also been something that you're just like, man, I don't know what to do about this situation. I feel like I'm at a roadblock, or I just don't know how to move forward, or what decision to make when it comes to this specific situation. Take your mind off that situation and pour it into something that you really love. Give that thing, that space, that time, that person some space, so to speak. Some, you know, sometimes when we take our mind off certain things and allow the energy to open up, we'll be surprised at how things can quickly move through when we're not putting so much pressure on it and so much focus on it, especially when our pressure and our focus is so negative. When it's just like, man, this thing sucks and it's never going to get better and it's always the same thing. And, you know, we play these negative stories on repeat in our head about a certain situation, person, place, or thing that's not working in our life. It can create this like snowball effect where no matter what we do or say, or what they do or say, or how the situation is, it's going to continue to be that way because we're so spiraling downward in this thought process that we can't even allow ourselves to see any good, even if there was any good happening, right? So sometimes when we just take a break away from it, pour our energy into something else that makes us feel good, that we love, that builds our skill, that builds our craft, that is, you know, the things that make us feel good, that make work towards our goals, our personal goals that don't have to do with anyone, it can really free up that energy, and we can be really surprised at how it may kind of fix itself, so to speak, sometimes, or just transform and change in a different way. Tony Certain says, stroke a cat. Definitely go to a cat petting zoo. I'm sure you can find a cat outside, actually. There's probably plenty of kitties you can find roaming around the streets outside. You know, just make sure you be safe when you're doing that. Underground Promoter says, you have actually inspired me, Moon, when it comes to making things. Oh, thank you. That makes my heart warm to hear. Thank you. Joey Baldwin says, I love dogs and my girlfriend loves dogs. Yes, I'm obviously zodiac. We talked about Chinese zodiac signs. I'm a dog, so I'm naturally going to love puppies and dogs. And so this is so random, but okay. So I would always say, like, if you had to choose a way to like pass away, which I don't know why I think about this, my ADHD brain or something, but I used to always say if I had to choose like how I was going to pass away, I would want to pass away by a swarm of puppies and their puppy breath just suffocating me. And I don't know why that's like my dream way to go out. But like when I'm like a 90-year-old, 95-year-old grandma, 99-year-old grandma, 101-year-old grandma, come bring a bunch of puppies. Oh. Come bring a bunch of puppies to my bedside and I'll just let them smother me. Yeah. Underground promoter says, here at the Delaware beaches, my childhood friends, I grew up down here. We have a beach called the OCF, the Oceanside Familia. It's a clothing and wrap group. That's awesome. Tone Sarden says, read a book. Definitely. And okay, so let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards now. I just really wanted to pull an extra support card because I do feel like that energy was kind of heavy and I wanted to see a little bit more about what was going to come out. I see Ariana Music's up in the building. What's good? It's good to see you. I sent you a little something, some media for the track we're working on. I hope that you've gotten a chance to check it out. Definitely let me know. Y'all, I'm super excited about this track that me and Ariana have coming out. He's a phenomenal producer, and we've been working on some music together, so coming soon. And also, he has a lot of his own projects that are really dope, and I encourage you all to check him out, Ariana Music, on Instagram. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards and see what comes out for us, some additional advice and support at this time. What advice do you have, Spirit, for us when it comes to handling this energy? Watch the eye focus on what's working card comes out. No? Shadow? Ooh, okay. I trust the change unfolding in my life, and there is medicine in my shadow. So I just feel like these two cards here are confirming about how, one, to trust what's going on, right? Because there's a lot of times in life where there's certain things that happen that we don't want to happen, that are not we think alignment with what we want or what we desire, or not moving as fast as we want, or are just not moving at all in terms of the Two of Swords, right? Or maybe you're trying to make it move forward, or you're trying to talk to this person, or trying to work on the situation, and every time you do, you end up facing this roadblock. I feel like this card here is just extra confirmation to really trust what's going on in your life right now, even if it's not so good. There's medicine in the shadow, there's medicine in the dark. That moon was in that Two of Swords, right? And one of the reasons why I call myself Moon Magic, and what that name means to me, is the understanding that there is medicine in our shadow. Life is not all about the light and the positive. And don't get me wrong, I love the light and positive. I love when it's sunny outside. But there's so much growth and so much beauty in the darkness and in the moon, and in the medicine that comes from understanding our shadows and the dark aspects of ourselves and life, and not running from it and not hiding from it, and allowing ourselves to hold space for it. And I think the reason why I've chosen the name Moon Magic and why it means so much to me is because in our society, we often run, hide, shun, and shame those things. And it can make those who are struggling in the dark and struggling in the shadow feel like something is wrong with them, or, feel lost or feel ashamed, all of those things. And I think there's so much power in us being able to feel it, allow it to be messy, allow it to be ugly, and allow it to be powerful and beautiful, even when it's not. And I feel like that message is true here too. Like, you are a beautiful, powerful being, even if it's messy, even if you're crying, even if you feel like though nothing in the world's making sense, nothing in your world is making sense. There is medicine in this shadow, in this darkness, in this time. Spirit has not left you. God has not left you. You have not left you. Trust what is unfolding in your life. Trust this change and transformation coming in, and trust what this shadow is here to teach you and show you about your life. I feel like that's very important with these cards. But I am going to go ahead and read their descriptions, because I always love reading the descriptions. I always feel like there's something more to be taken away from it. And who am I to not read the description and allow your intuition to pull something more from the message? You feel me? All right, so trust. This card is all about trust, y'all. Sometimes we must let go of something good to let in something better. The wheel of life is always turning, and change is necessary. Without it, we become complacent. Change is brewing. Loosen your grip and relax into it. As you're guided to step more authentically into your power and purpose, something has to shift. Change must occur. Trust the change that's unfolding in your life. Although the outcome may be unpredictable right now, when you settle in and open to new possibilities, a wondrous world can emerge. There's no need to rush this process. You will grow wiser as you learn to surf the waves of change with more grace and ease. During this time, stick with your personal practices, make space to receive, and be kind to yourself. Oh, that's my jam. Making time for your personal practices, making space to receive, and being kind to yourself. Yes. And I like how it talks about surfing those waves, because that really connects to the Two of Swords energy and how there were waves in the background. All right, shadow. Light and shadow play a vital role in our growth. The dark and deep is as valuable as the light and easy. When we accept that they coexist, we can embrace our shadow without letting it define us. As messengers of the night, the owls navigate darkness with clear vision and instinctual wisdom. Owl is here to support your inner journey and awaken your ability to sense in the dark. Some of the greatest artists, healers, and teachers discover their most profound gifts in this realm. The medicine of your shadow taps you deep into your intuition, develops empathy, and is an opportunity to turn your weakness into strength. Know that this deeper feeling awareness will ignite an unwavering and powerful core fire within you. As you share your light, do not shun your shadows. Cultivate compassion for every shade of your being. Yeah, I love how both of these cards really have a big message about being kind to yourself, being compassionate to yourself. And I would say and extend that goes beyond just yourself, but also to those around you, especially with what's going on in the world today. I mean, it's not hard to see how much we need compassion, especially for those we truly love and care about, and especially for those who we know, man, they're doing the best that they can, but they're also having a heavy weight on their shoulder from all the things happening in the world. Their heart is also heavy with the pain and the uncertainty and not knowing how to navigate the political climate we're in, the environmental climate that we're in. Especially those who we really love. Like, you know their heart, you know their soul, you know that they're good people, but maybe the way they're handling the situation or the stress with their job and the world and everything else isn't so good, right? I feel like these messages here are about being compassionate to yourself and to those around you, and respecting how those rules of light and dark play in our life. All right, I'm going to pull two more cards, one from the Threads of Fate and one from the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses. See what comes out. Let me read some of these comments. We have, man, there's a little gnat flying around my room. Get the heck out of my face. Tone Certain says, at 95, you want cats purring all around you. You know what's funny is I definitely think at 95, I'm going to be like a cat lady or a dog lady. I'm just going to have like a big farm of animals, and that's going to be my life, because I don't have any children. I don't know if I will ever have children. I want to have children, at least one child. But if I don't, and even if I do, I don't expect my kids to you know, take care of me when I'm older, necessarily. I mean, it would be nice if they wanted to, but you know, they got their own life. So maybe I'll just be surrounded by a bunch of cats and animals at 95. Underground Promoter says, yeah, Moan's music is so fire. Thank you. I appreciate you. I can't wait to show you with this new music with you. I've been working on editing this video and the visuals for that song with Ariana. And I have a bunch of music, so much music that I've been working on, but I'm this point of where I am in my career, I'm so much more slower to putting music out because I really want to make sure the quality is there. You know, I'm being way more intentional with what I put out. So I feel like I'll definitely release new music before the end of the year. The year is young. It's only February. New music will definitely come by the end of the year. Acid Flashback says, find what you love and let it kill you. Charles Bukowski. Joey Baldwin says, just kick back and listen to hip-hop music in the living room. Yes, that's a vibe. Always a vibe. I've been trying to leave time for myself to just listen to music. Like last night, I was listening to Roberta Flack, who just passed away. Rest in peace to Roberta Flack. But I find sometimes, like, being so focused on making music, I forget to, like, spend time just listening to music. So I've been making time in my schedule just for that, and it's been really healing and supercharging. Let's see. The Pillar. The Pillar. Yes, I love this card. The Pillar is all about being the pillar in your own life, being the backbone, the strength, sometimes in life we are pushed so much to the edge and to the brim where you have to be all things for yourself because no one else is there for you, which is very difficult energy to be in at times. And maybe you are that kind of pillar for the people around you, and that's okay too. There's a message in there with it. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this. It can be a lonely energy, definitely. But some of us are called to that in this lifetime, whether it's lessons maybe our soul wants to learn, or a certain amount of strength that your soul is requiring and gathering. Sometimes we are asked to be all things for ourselves, and that can be a very difficult energy to be in, a very lonely energy to be in. So I'm going to read what this energy has to say. I feel like it's empowering you, though, to be that you can be those things. You're not going to break under this pressure. You're not going to break under this circumstance. You're stronger than you think you are and capable of more than you think you are. And I think that's the core message of this. So let's go ahead and read what the Pillar says. The Pillar signifies a need to rise to the occasion. It indicates a time where we may need to be all things: the backbone, the nurturer, the provider, and the lover. The Pillar asks you to step into these roles as best as you can, knowing that you are being pushed outside of your comfort zone. You will learn how capable you are. It's a time where we take our gifts to new heights and learn that our perceived flaws are just that, perceived. If you have been resisting a new opportunity or role that has presented itself to you, it's time to step into it and trust that you will learn as you go. There's that word trust again. This is also a time where our container grows. We learn just how much space for ourselves and for others we can hold. Continue to listen to yourself, fill your own cup so that you can be there for others, but do not forget to push yourself. Balanced Pillar energy is being able to wear many hats to hold space for family and community, but doing these things with empowered boundaries. It is placing your personal well-being and needs first, knowing that your service will be better because of it. The unbalanced Pillar can go a couple of ways. In an attempt to maintain all control, one can get domineering and manipulative. On the other hand, they may find themselves becoming codependent, where their identities get wrapped up in the need to caretake for others while forgetting about themselves. If you find yourself in the shadow of the Pillar, ask yourself, where can I soften? Where can I put up boundaries? What are my personal needs? And how can I go about meeting those for myself? Yeah, that last part. I feel like this card is also all about really putting your own personal well-beings and needs first. And sometimes when you do that, that does make you feel like you're standing alone on an island, and you having to do it all for you. But there's something within that about meeting your own needs and doing it for yourself that is actually really empowering and important to do in life. And at this moment, I feel like Spirit's really calling attention to that. I'm seeing the comments going off, so I'm going to go ahead and read some more. Tone Certain says, wow, how come you are not political? What do you mean by that? I feel like my music can be very political. Likewise, 47 children, and no, I'm not having children. Likewise, 47, and I know I'm not having children. Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't know why I thought you said you had 47, like cats or something. I don't know what I was getting from that. Acid Flashback says, sorry if it's TMI, but all these cards drawn I can relate with as a bipolar Libra. I'm a Libra rising, Libra gang, what's up? Big Corona says, I have to run. See you later. Thank you so much for hopping on. Joey says, I can't stand mosquitoes and gnats in my damn self. I know, they annoy the crap out of me. I think I had one. Oh, shit. Oh, my light went out, y'all. Hold on. I swear I'm still in here. My light just went off. There we go. I've been having power issues at my spot, so I was like, wait a minute, what happened? Okay, last card, because we gotta get out of here with my power ass and funky. All right. Last card, what you got for us from the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck? Aww. The God of Reflections. The qualities you see in others are simply your own reflection. I love that. This is a new deck, so I actually haven't pulled this card before, so I'm just going to read the description of it because I haven't pulled this card before. I don't have any of my own connection to it, but when I see this card intuitively, like what I would pick up from this and think about this is really remembering that we are reflections of one another, and a lot of times the energy and things that we go through is a reflection of, so to speak, right? The reflections of, one of my friends brought it up to me by saying, like, we're all learning our lessons, we're all, you know, going through our own things, we're all, you know, moving and navigating through the world, right, in a way that the people that we meet and the situations and circumstances that we bump into that can irritate our spirit, or, you know, even in a positive way or in a negative way, are all ways in which we are reflecting one another's light, one another's shadows, and the lessons and the insights that we need to gain. So I feel like this message is probably very similar to that, but let's go ahead and see what the book says. It says, you are giving away your power because you fail to recognize and acknowledge the many wondrous qualities that you possess. The qualities you admire in others are simply reflections of the same qualities within you. Yet often you falsely believe that others are better than you in some way. It is now time to let go of this belief and allow your beauty, talent, and creativity to shine through. From now on, every time you see beauty in another, let it serve to remind you of your own beauty. If you recognize success in another, check to see how that success also exists within you, and so on. As your perceptions are brought into balance, you become a more effective force in the world and have more impact on those around you. By acknowledging all the beautiful qualities that you already possess, you open the door to an endless stream of abundance and blessings, which stem from the heart of creation. Beautiful. Alrighty, y'all. That's all the messages for today. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank your guides, my guides, and the divine for this space today. If you like these messages and want to get a personal tarot reading from me, feel free to DM me or visit my website, www.moonmagicflows.com, where you can book a reading. And until next time, as always, be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, take it easy, and I will see you all next time. Bye.